So we're doing the maiden voyage. And when I say maiden voyage, on a river, we're actually gonna take it down. There we go. That's a big boy. That is a big boy. Welcome to the show. That was almost a disaster. This is actually... So winter fishing, how do you actually make this happen? Well, we're taking the Old Town 120 out for the very first time on the river. It's been cold, the water's gonna be in the 40s, and we gotta prep the right way. So I'm gonna walk you guys through just getting ready to go on this, and then we're gonna hit the water. It is gonna be a warm day tomorrow, 50, but the water's still gonna be cold. So it breaks the 120 rule where you want the air temp to be 60 and the water temp to be 60, or any combination of that to hit 120. So we are going to take a backup change of clothes and get to test this kayak for the very first time. All right, let me show you guys an idea of what we're working with here. So we've got a change of pants, fresh socks, a full base layer, thermal, and then a pair of underwear, like boxers, whatever you want to take. Now, I will also have my bibs that you can put on as well. So if you fall in, you can have all that plus your bibs and like a coat or whatever you've got with you. The bibs dry out super quick. So this will be nice and small. It'll go in there, and this will probably stay in the hatch for most of the winter, assuming we don't flip. This is kind of what we're working with today. We are just taking the dry bag, the battery, the motor, 4 rods, and yeah, we're gonna give this thing the ultimate test on some winter fish. Ooh, it is a spicy, spicy, spicy morning on the river. We have just motored like 3 miles before even making a cast. I know, wild. This is a 20-mile river float. We were taking the Old Town out. Look at that. For the very first time. I'm bundled up. The sun is up. We launched at daybreak. It's about, I want to say it's just before 9. So I've been motoring for a while. Just because like in the winter, these fish get in very specific spots. So I know for a lot of people, it seems crazy to motor for an hour plus before making a cast, but that's just winter fishing for you. But we're finally getting up there. We've got jerkbait, tube, and then I've got a bigger bait. Hoping to throw that in different holes that actually have shad in them. So we'll see. All right, the TRD tube. I'm starting with this because I don't know if they're going to be on a jerkbait or not. Not yet, at least. I'm doing a lot of motoring, not a lot of fishing, just because in winter you kind of have to get to your spots, and that's what we're trying to do today, is just get to the spot. There we go. Oh, I felt him come up and hit it. It was just sitting there. I literally let that pause for like, I don't know. That was probably a good 6-second pause, and he came up and hit it. That's a pretty spotted bass. Look at the colors on him up on the top. Give him that. Oh man, I'm noticing the one thing I don't like about where the Old Town puts the plier spot. It's on the left. So I want to hop in here real quick and kind of showcase a few things. Now, this is just kind of some quote dead area between going from point A to point B, but this shows off the stability of the Old Town and just some of the handling while going through obstacles. One of the things that I do talk about towards the end of the video when we go through my thoughts on this kayak in particular is just that I did find it a little bit harder to sort of navigate through this stuff, which was to be expected, but I wanted to leave this in so that when we talk about it later, you guys kind of have an idea of what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, that feels like a big fish. What is that? Dude, what the heck is that? Dude, it's a crappie. What do you got? That's a big crappie too. Look at that. I'm the species man. That is a solid that is a solid crappie. I knew it wasn't a bass as soon as he hit it. Crappie dinner tonight. All right, well that's something. He's dragging this tube on the bottom. Is that a fish? I don't think so. We're gonna set the hook anyway. Oh, it was a fish. A fat spotted bass. The way he hit that was weird. There you go, Z-Man tube, little spotted bass. I've always had a lot of, man, this freaking motor. I've always had a lot of luck with this particular tube. It's so windy, you can't feel the bites.
You got another one. You got one too. Okay.
That's a good one, actually. Good spot. Oh, that's a largemouth. I take it back, he's not a good one. I just meant in comparison to spotted bass. And he was head shaking like. Cool dude. He was exactly where we thought he was going to be. In the magic spot. Seems like they're home. Oh, got caught on my eyelet. All right, a good little streak in the old town.
Oh man, there's a good looking spot right there.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. All right, well, the little guys love the tube. Their mouths are that little, it's hard to... All right, well, it's a nice little run of small bass. All right, first of the day right here.
Smallie?
Yep.
Nice.
Nope, I lied. It's a really dark spotted bass.
You guys just dumped up again. That's 3 double ups since we got this hole.
That's a largemouth. It's a really dark largemouth. All right, first largemouth of the day. Look how yellow he is. Same color as those rocks. This tube makes it so you almost don't have to do anything. You just kind of throw it and that's that. Just stay in the spot all day and catch the same 10 fish over and over. Deja vu. Deja vu. This is just a magic spot. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call.
Wow.
What a giant. Oh, there's one with it. That's weird. You don't usually see that in the winter. That's largy.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. This is a pretty solid spotted bass, actually. Very respectable one, actually. There we go. Colors on that dude. This tube just dragging it. I'm not even doing anything. I'm literally just throwing it and dragging it. Well, we definitely have had no shortage of action. That was like 8 fish and like 15 casts. So the old town has been christened. There we go. That's a big boy. That is a big boy. And he's off. I sat down.
That was a big one?
Yeah, that's a big smallmouth. I should have stayed standing. That was probably like a 19. Dang, dude. That was really dumb of me. I usually don't lose them on jerkbaits.
Picking up in Kenya's house and getting ready for you to do certificate.
There we go. That is a big smallie too. Oh, dude, he is barely hooked.
No, but he got all his medic out. I'll tell you later.
Oh, finally. It's not as big as that other one. Still a nice one. This net is giant. Not even a big one, it's just a long torpedo. There you go. Pretty one. Hey, first smallmouth of the day, first smallmouth in the old town. I netted him because he was only hooked by the back treble, and I was like, well, I lost that last one, I better be careful here and try to land one. Just to say that I did. Oh, dang. Oh! New species! Yes!
Is that like a...
It's like a sucker of some design.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it's in its mouth. What are you...
No way.
Yeah.
It's a PB, he said. I was like...
Nope, never caught one at least that big. That's a PB. I watched him swipe at it. Oh, shoot. That was almost a disaster. I don't want to get in too deep here. I can't really get across. Use this as like a bridge, essentially. I knew exactly what it was as soon as it hit. I've just gotten so used to, if they can't pull the jerkbait down, you know it's a little one. You know what I mean? Like when they grab it. Yeah. I guess one fish is better than no fish. This is like a carbon copy of that last one. Found the School of Nursery Rhymes. Oh, this is actually a spot. Sorry. There we go.
Double up. This is like the 5th double up of the day.
Another spot. Here's a largemouth. So I'm gonna give you guys a little on the water demo here of this kayak. Kind of see how we've got it rigged, black pack and all, camera mount there. You can see I've got just stuff thrown in the back here, and I've noticed it's a little wet because I don't have the one-way scuppers in there. So some water is splashing up there. Not a huge deal really, but I mean, it's still something that I'll probably just put 2 scuppers in there just like I have in the front. Got to have the Mickey Mouse lunchbox, but you can see just kind of how I have it rigged there in the back. But I do want to point something out. I found that this is actually a great way to store your catchboard. It keeps it out of the way. You know, you don't really have a ton of room in the front to lay it like in the sholey, but you know, it's kind of crowded. That's one of the things that I don't like about it. And then as far as the motor mount, it's been working pretty flawlessly. So there we go. Oh, he smoked that thing. I don't think it's very big, but on the pause. That's a smallie. Yeah, he was on bottom. You can see the mud on his belly. You can see the mud on his belly. I'm sitting on the bottom. It's better. You can see it better here. Those little black specks are the mud from him sitting on the bottom. He actually crushed that pretty hard. I'll give him credit for that. I knew he wasn't big, but all right, I can let it rip here. All right, so this is about 6 miles, a little over 6. I gotta be careful, there's a lot of stuff in the water here. I don't know, it's pretty good though, I'd say as a general rule. Ooh, what a spicy, boring day of fishing. Yeah, sometimes in the winter it just feels good just to catch them. I mean, we only caught, what, I think 4 smallmouth, mostly spotted bass and largemouth, but we did get to test the kayak. I got some thoughts about it, which we're going to do back at the garage just because we're running out of daylight here. This is a long float. Some things I like, some things I don't like. And I got some cool tests to show you guys just to kind of give you an idea of like what this is, what kind of speeds we're getting and what kind of stability, what kind of maneuvering. Overall, pretty good, but definitely some quirks. So you just watched the first trip in this kayak. It's still got all the junk sitting on it from us getting back. It's 50-mile-an-hour winds today, so I think we made the right decision in when we decided to go to the river. But I want to talk about some things I liked about this kayak, winter fishing in general, and kind of give you a summary of that trip, which was really, really, really tough. And some things we're going to change about this kayak. So let's do it. So I would say as a general rule, I was really happy with the way this kayak performed. I thought it did phenomenal. It paddled decently, not great, but it handled most of the stuff we put it through, including that ridiculous shoal, which if you didn't catch it in that part of the video was quite frustrating. And it was more that the water was really low. That's about as low as it gets, truthfully. That's like summer levels. For winter, it's kind of frustrating. And the reason why it's frustrating is you can't really get into the water as much. So like you have to kind of like, you saw me like struggling. It's because like I couldn't take a step in and the flow in the channels was like pushing the back end of the kayak. And since this is a double wide pontoon, it was making it so that it was tougher to turn the kayak. And I'm always cautious in the winter. So like a lot of times when it looks like I'm out there like floundering, like, does this guy even know what he's doing? It's just me being cautious. But that was one part that really frustrated me. It did catch on a couple things, but I think it goes through stuff pretty shallow. And like in the winter, like you don't want to get out of your kayak, but the reality is it's going to happen. You're gonna have to get out. So couple things though. So you know that we have the battery in the front. That's something we talked about in the last video, which you haven't seen, go catch that. It was kind of us breaking it down. The battery's in the front. So what that did was it made it a little bit harder when you're paddling because we've got my weight here in the center, right? We've got a lot of weight in the back, the motor, the power's in the back. So you've got a lot weighing it down in the back. You want that battery up front to kind of balance it out. At least that's what I've done in the sholey. You get better performance too, better speed when that nose is down. So battery was in the front. The issue was you got a lot of weight distributed. And while that's a good thing for the motor, it impacts your ability to paddle it. Because now, instead of the kayak sitting up out of the water ever so slightly, you know, that nose kind of up like that. If this is the water, that nose is just kind of up. That's kind of a crude example. Now it's weighed down. Normally not a huge problem, but it makes it harder to paddle. Because if you think about it, all that water is now pushing against the side of the kayak because it's more down in there. Now, is that a deal breaker? No, it's not. It just means that you're gonna have to put a little bit more effort into paddling that. And it was a little jarring at first because I definitely didn't want to go into the flip on something dumb in the middle of winter. Yeah, I mean, overall that was good. So I'm gonna toy with something. And I don't know that I'm going to do it, but I'm considering maybe trying the 36 volt battery right here. because it will fit right there. Might actually have to go sideways. I don't know if it'll fit between that. I could actually probably sit it like right there if I found a way to strap it down. But I'm thinking about trying the battery there. I don't take a lot of stuff in the black pack, but that is 30 more pounds in the back. So it's definitely gonna pull it back a little bit. But I think that one of the advantages is if we do switch to the battery in the back, we regain the hatch. We've got our dry bag in there. You can see we got our coat. So like we took extra stuff with us just because you definitely don't go out on the water without a dry bag. And this isn't a heavy coat, but it's waterproof. So I brought extra stuff just in case we did flip. And we talked about that at the beginning of the video, but it would make it a lot easier to access the stuff in there. You don't have to like try to rip it out. So that was one thing I think we're gonna toy with. Another thing I like is this hatch. And I went with a 4-inch hatch, which I talked about because I didn't want to use up a lot of the plastic back here, especially because we're mounting the motor directly to the kayak. I know some people express concerns about flex, and there is some play if you pull on it, but I can tell you guys in practice, I'm using the heaviest motor on the market, and it has almost no play on it when you're going. You're totally fine there if you mount it just like that, and I'll do a whole video on this, trust me. I've already got it laid out. You will have no issue with that. So that was a successful first trip. I'm really happy with this kayak. We've already got the registration approved and everything, so this is gonna be our main vessel for the foreseeable future. Now I think that the Old Town 120 paddle kayak with a motor is definitely serviceable in waters. I think that if you had a 106, it'd be great for creeks. It's really easy to load. I love the handles. I love how stable it is. That's the big thing. I was standing like 60% of the time. And honestly, like if you're standing and fishing, and if I get this rigged out to the way I think I can get it, I think it'll be great. It did take me some adjustment with, the Shoalie's got a lot of space in the cockpit. Because the gunnel walls on this kayak are a little wider, you're losing about, I don't know, maybe that much space on each side compared to the Shoalie. And that was something that was a little annoying when you had rods in there. So I definitely don't think, being a bigger guy, that I like having a ton of rods laying up front on it. Mostly because like I'm scared I'm gonna like step on it, especially when you're getting in and out a lot. So you won't see me doing that again. What I'm probably gonna do is figure out a way to have the rods pointed backwards. I've got some different Yak Attack stuff just laying around, like the stagers and stuff. We might try that, maybe having like a stager. I definitely think that that is one of the challenges on this boat is storage, because like my hatch is taken up by the battery. You almost need to devise like a little crate, like a double crate. Like that was something I was thinking about. If I don't end up moving the battery to the back, maybe putting a crate back here, a smaller crate where I can just dump stuff in, like coat, jacket, lunch, stuff like that. That way it's not exposed to the elements. And then I think 2 rods laying in front of you is totally fine. So if there's nothing behind you, you can just put them in your black pack. That's what I was doing. But yeah, that was one of the challenges. But overall, dude, I'm super happy with this kayak. Super comfortable, steered great, had great speed, 6.1 as you saw in the clip earlier. So it's a fast kayak considering that it's a heavy kayak, but the length, 12 feet, it takes longer to get there, but once it gets going, it's going. So look forward to more content on this. I'm excited to explore it. I'm excited to figure out more about it. I'm never gonna do a review on it till I actually have had time in the kayak, but I think for it being like a kayak that was on sale at Black Friday for $899, you cannot beat this for the river. So see you guys next time.